Hey. Hey, you guys, all right, my loves. Let's move into segment 2. If you weren't here earlier, I was live earlier. I went live on TikTok, I went live on YouTube, and now I'm back and I'm doing something totally different. I'm actually trying out the TikTok shop manager. I tried out the TikTok shop manager the other day. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to break out and laugh, you guys, okay? Because I am trying also. I don't have it in my shop, so I'm not trying to promote it, at least not right now. But I went out and tried that, if you got a missing tooth, put the stuff in your tooth thing. I've got that in right now. And I think I made the back part a little bit too thick. Anyway, I'm talking like I have a list. Slightly. But I mean, I'm glad you're not seeing a hole right now, and then you're seeing, whatever it is looks like. So I thought that's something I'm definitely going to promote after this. But tonight, the main thing that I want to share, and I just need to put this up here, is carousel. Carousel, it's maca powder, it's purple hair mask, and it's for color maintenance. Now, you guys, anyone who watches me at any length knows that I've been sporting a platinum blonde gray look forever. Like, I think I have a commercial right here on TikTok where I did last year for this, but I wanted to just come back out and just give it a shout out because they're in stock right now. And so if you want some of this, I would highly recommend it. I love the light colored hair. If you like getting the platinum hair or some of it, one of mine, it made it slightly blue, which I thought was kind of cool too. So that, it does a lot. You'll love this. I'm telling you, it'll make your hair, if you've got blonde hair, gray hair, this is amazing. So this is going to be pinned up the whole time that I'm talking. And I've got a lot to talk about, you guys. This is the gossip mill. And by the way, if you're new to me, I am CapricornTigress. I'm of Astrology A Look Inside. I don't know if you guys follow Astrology A Look Inside or anything like that, but that is where I'm from and what I do. I am an astrologer. And I wanted to come specifically tonight and talk about the gossip. I mean, there is not just gossip, right? It's more than just gossip. Because you guys, look, I'm going to tie all the stuff in. And by the way, I just want to welcome all, because we're excited to see at least 3 of you here right now. And for those who are new, please consider liking and following our stream. Let's make this session interactive and fun, and shower us with your likes and your support. Okay, let's do that. All right. Now, I've got a lot to talk about because this is segment two. The first half was all about astrology. This half is all about that hot topics and gossip and current affairs because we got a lot going on. Mars is in Gemini, and Mercury is retrograde too right now in Cancer, and it's sitting right on the sun, like right on. They're meeting up at 20 degrees. I don't know if y'all know that. Okay. They're meeting up right now because the last I looked, Mercury was at 21 degrees retrograding and the sun was at 19 degrees and going forward. So they're about to meet up at 20 degrees right now while I'm talking. So maybe all this news, all this stuff might help. Now, while I'm talking, don't forget we got that carousel up there. Get yourself that carousel because if you got the light color hair or you want to try the light color hair or you even want to try some different highlights in your hair, I highly recommend this purple mask. Okay, now let's talk about this stuff because I really want to talk about it. And again, thank you for whoever has joined me here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the serious stuff first, and then it might get progressively less serious, but we got to talk about some of this stuff because we've got a lot going on. Like I said, we got Mars and Uranus in Gemini. So we want to talk. A lot of talking right now. Also, we've got this news cycle right now is dizzying. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on, okay? And it's like a fire hose of information and events and shifts. Look, we're going to break down the top 10 hot topics and current affairs first, okay? This is the top 10 according to Google. This is according to Google, not according to me, but you're going to find out. I try to deal with the facts. So this is what's dominating the consciousness, though, this week, what we're going to talk about. And I just want we have to look at this stuff without losing our peace. Okay. I welcome any comments. If you got comments on any of this stuff, I welcome that. Okay. But, I don't want nobody crashing out on me. Okay. So look, first off is number one, World Cup quarterfinal fever. Okay. This is what they're talking about. First of all, the world is completely locked into the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals. I did talk about the fact that we were all disappointed when America lost to Belgium. I'm still not over that because I'm in Seattle. That stuff hurt. I'm just saying. Anyway, we just saw a massive clash between England and Norway tonight, or yeah, Argentina and Switzerland. And now that Team USA and Canada and Mexico are officially out of that intense round 16, the energy is shifting rapidly with Mars and Gemini ruling sport. Mars and Gemini rule sports, right? I don't know if y'all know this. And athletics and speed. Mercury. The tournament is serving pure adrenaline, y'all. High stakes drama and unpredictable upsets. So if you're here in Seattle like me, you can literally feel the physical buzz in the streets. Like, first of all, it's crazy. I got to talk about the reality. Like I said, when I first started, I don't know if I said it here, but I'm going to say it now. When I first was going live, well, before, I heard a man out in the street screaming horribly. And we are going to be talking about some of the things going on in the world. And I plan on doing some type of meditation or healing, just so that you know it in advance. But outside of my locked gate is hell on earth in Seattle. I have talked about it. I live near Aurora Avenue, and it is now infamous. And I heard someone, I think they lost their life tonight. I can't confirm, But you don't hear people screaming like that unless they're dying. That's all I got to say. And I'm not going to say no more. And I didn't open my door because anyway, carousel, everybody. I just had to get that off my chest, y'all. What is going on in this world? What is going on in this world? We are going to be talking about a lot of different things tonight. And whew, that was not pretty, you guys. Now, the number two thing is the geopolitical chessboard, NATO summit sparks. There's some things going on with the NATO summit. We just witnessed an incredibly chaotic, intense NATO summit. The headlines are screaming about erratic diplomacy, intense pressure over defense spending, and sharp commentary coming straight from the Trump administration. This is pure Saturn and Aries energy, you guys. World leaders clashing over raw power and individual sovereignty and security boundaries. And the old structures are being tested. And tension is palpable. I mean, you can feel the tension right now. We can feel the tension in our own lives, but we can really feel it in politics right now. Oof, there's a lot going on. Now, speaking of politics, number three is the escalating U.S.-Iran strikes and the Strait of Hormuz. I have been quietly talking about this slowly for over a month now, but directly tied to that geopolitical friction that I just mentioned, we are seeing a major escalation in the Middle East with that US and Iran exchanging fierce strikes following attacks on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. So the ceasefire talks did they end, or this says here they're under extreme strain. That's a ceasefire? That's not a ceasefire. I think the ceasefire has ended. That's now when Mars, the planet of war. See, let me just break down for a second. As an astrologer, I'm just going to try to make it simple. Uranus is in Gemini, and Gemini rules like Mercury, which is communication. Now, Mercury is going backward right now, which means all forms of communication are really kind of backwards, or they're just covering things that should have been covered a hell of a long time ago. Okay? Now, Uranus is disruptive. No matter where it goes, it's creative, but it's disruptive. It just is. And Gemini really can't be trusted ever. So whenever there's a planet in Gemini, you gotta believe that it's disrupting something. Okay? All right. No matter what that planet is, by the way, but unless it's, even with Mercury, especially even with Mercury, but especially with Uranus. And then you add Mars, the real disruptor, the war planet. With that disruption, they are together. Hello? Uranus and Mars are together. So, and the guy who calls himself our president is a Gemini. I just want to throw that out there. Okay. Anyway, when Mars, the planet of war, is fueled by fast acting Gemini, skirmishes, conflicts, wars, they ignite over communications that break down, or especially with Mercury going retrograde. So the communication lines aren't going, I don't think they would be going well right now. And trade routes could go in a blink of an eye. I mean, we're holding space for global peace tonight. We really need to do that. Also, number 4 is a shift in Gaza. the political landscape over there. In a major development, Hamas has reportedly offered to hand over authority to Gaza, or in Gaza, to a US-backed administration. It's a massive headline that shows things are shifting beneath the surface. While Mercury retrograde is in Cancer right now, deep historic power structures are being forced to reevaluate for survival strategies and look for alternative paths forward. So maybe that's what's going on right now. Number 5 is the rise of agentic AI and the white collar shift. And before I get into what's going on with AI, because once we get into AI, that's a whole nother conversation to go into. I just like to say, if you have any comments about any of this stuff, let me know. I would love to hear what your feedback is on any of the things we're talking about, because these are the current affairs, right? These are the things that are happening in our world right now. So that's why I'm talking about them. They're the top 10. Okay, so the rise of the I told you I feel like I'm tongue-tied with this one. Agentic AI and the white collar shift. So turning to tech, 2026 is officially the year of agentic AI. And this is systems that act with autonomous intent rather than just answering questions. Companies are shifting their task to these digital systems, and it's starting to directly impact white collar hiring trends because the employees are becoming AI agents and not humans. So this is the absolute manifestation of Mars and Uranus in Gemini. In fact, I think I even predicted something like this 2 years ago when I told y'all that Uranus was going into Gemini. Now, the total revolution of information, intellect, and the way we work is changing right now. It's all jobs that everyone thought might have been secure may no longer be secure. The way people are working, and I feel like I'm aging quickly because it's hard to keep up with the changes in technology. It's forcing us to ask, what makes us uniquely human? Like, if they can replace our humanity with agentic AI or AI agents, what makes us humans unique, hireable in a world that wants to save money on AI agents? Anyway, that's a topic I think for conversation. Some people might have some insight on that if that's something that, someone said, Auntie, stop hitting the Nick and answer me. Oh, you mean the mic. You know the drill, Auntie, bro. What are you saying? Answer me, God. Answer me, answer. And no one's listening but me. Oh my God. All this was happening while I was talking. All this was happening. Oh my God. Someone says, I'm a Gemini rising. Is this going to affect me badly? Look, if you got Gemini rising, I will say this. I want you to be really cautious about everything, because Uranus is sudden, it's unexpected, it's stuff you're not expecting. You're not expecting it, whatever it is. Right now, while Mars is in Gemini over the next, few weeks or whatever, I really want you to be careful while Mars is still in Gemini. I think it's going to go out not soon, okay? It's going to leave there, but be careful. The whole time that Uranus is in Gemini, I want all Geminis to be careful. Be careful with what you're saying. Be careful with what you're typing. Be careful with everything you say on the phone, okay? Be careful when you're speaking in public, because I just saw some TikTok or YouTube video where some dude got unalive because he said the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time. And you don't want to be that person. So if you are a Gemini or you got Gemini rising, I want you guys to really be careful about the power of the words you're saying right now, and the fact that other people can miscalculate, misread almost everything you're saying. It may not you may not mean to offend anybody, but it could be something that's just amiss with that person. Who knows? People are crazy right now. That's the other thing. Because you might have your stuff together, but there's no guarantee that the person who hears you or is talking to you has all their ish together. So I want you to be careful, okay? I just want you to be careful. Um, and you guys, don't be mad at me for taking time to understand stuff. This is my first time ever using Live Manager, okay? I've not used this Shop Manager, Live Manager, ever before. This is the first time ever, okay? And I don't know where anything is or what I'm doing, and I'm doing the best I can. I can't even see myself. Now I'm simultaneously recording on YouTube, and so I hope my YouTubers are being patient with me as I do all the things that I'm doing. Now, someone said, "You're sounding like my history teacher." I can't help that. You know what? I can't help that I sound like a history teacher, or that I look like a teacher, or that I act like a teacher. I got Saturn in the first house and I'm a double Capricorn. If anybody knows anything about astrology, it just says right away, one, I was old from the time I was born. I was never young. This is the youngest I've ever been. I'm also 63 years old. I look way younger than 63, but I am 63. So when I talk like a 63-year-old woman. I'm just saying. Don't expect nothing other than that from me, but a 63-year-old. Now, you know, let's go ahead. Someone said I look like I'm 28. God bless you, my child. God bless you. I'm going to throw this carousel back up. That might be helping. Okay. I'm telling you, this carousel will keep your highlights beautiful. It will keep your highlights beautiful. Make sure you guys take a check out of this carousel maca powder. That is beautiful. It makes your hair gorgeous and it lightens it. I love it. Anyway, let's get back into all this talk. Unless, of course, anyone has any questions about astrology, and then I will talk to you. What, the carousel's a scam? No, this stuff works wonderful. This is not a scam. And I'm not a scam either. I'm just a person, just somebody living from Seattle. I'm a real person, y'all. You can find me on YouTube at Astrology, look inside. And I've been on YouTube for 8 years. I've never scammed anybody in my life. That's not my deal. Anyone who said that is either jealous or just not informed, because that's not my bag. You know what? In fact, as you can probably check with TikTok, I am not one of those people that goes around and touches on other, sends out messages and try to get people to come do things with. I don't do that. You'll never get messages like that from me, ever. I've never done it. I am not a scammer. So I don't know who you're thinking about, but it certainly ain't me. I just don't got time for it. Anyway, I got real information to share here. And we're going to go back to that. So number 6 is the AI ROI reality check. Okay. All right. So hand in hand with that, what I talked about, the agentic AI, are the corporate boards and CFOs that are officially calling a timeout on the AI hype. There was a lot of movement toward AI all during most of 2026 and 2025. But I think when people heard about the amount of water that AI is using for these data centers, the shift was, wow. It was almost immediate. I talked about this in one of my last shows about Meta AI, because I was really big into Meta AI. Like, I love Meta AI. And Meta AI had these vibes, which were awesome. To me, it was just perfect, right? You could just go in there. They were free, and you could get like 15-second videos and on all different types of subjects. It was amazing. But when the word about the data centers came out and the amount of water that was required to keep these data centers going came out. The feedback, the pushback against those Meta AI vibes became so intense that Meta AI just one day this past week removed it. Like the whole option to create new ones is gone. If you've got some, you can post those, but that's in your storage or whatever. But you can't make any new ones. They completely removed it. So they are demanding a clear return on investment. Investors, they literally are calling out these companies. And, rather than just throwing their money after trendy tech like they were doing, like everybody was jumping on AI. Like who wasn't jumping on AI? If it's had AI, everybody was jumping on it, running to it. Like, but not anymore. Like right now, it is like almost a bad word. So this, what is this? Like when I look at this as an astrologer, this is Venus in Virgo energy stepping and saying the flashy presentation is nice, but show me the data, show me the money, show me the practical utility of why we would spend or use that much energy or that much water or that much everything. So the glitter is wearing off of AI and the real work is beginning. And I live in Seattle, and here our mayor and our city council completely shut down data centers. They block them from the city, I think at least for another year. So yeah, there's a real big push right now against AI, and it's affecting it in real ways. I'm still in shock that Meta AI got rid of their vibes. Like, oh my gosh, I posted them every single day, like every day. I love them. And I'm still kind of in shock that they're gone. Like I can't believe it. But this is the world we're in. So you can expect some other AI companies to maybe disappear. I wouldn't have said this a year ago, but I think I think the pushback is that strong. People are boycotting AI, just so that it's happening. Anyway, number 7 is the global economic cross currents. And this is the International Money Fund, or IMF. It just released its 2020 or July 2026 World Economic Outlook, showing global growth stalling at around 3%. And they noted a massive divide. Countries tied to tech value chains are booming, while energy importing economies are feeling the weight of ongoing wars. So it's an uneven landscape. But the lesson here is to rely on your inner economy and stay adaptable. Stay adaptable, because like I just said, the tech, especially if they're relying on AI tech, there might be another shift, because we're shifting right now because of what's going on with AI. But there's a lot of things. I know that there were some African countries that look pretty promising because they have the minerals needed to run a lot of this. And that's the next subject, number 8, the critical mineral scramble. So there is a quiet but massive geopolitical race happening over rare earths and critical minerals. Yes. And the US and its allies are rushing to build new supply chains with countries like Australia to break away from dominant refining monopolies. Because these minerals power our tech, which means they're powering our energy infrastructure. And this is the literal physical grounding of the tech revolution, is the minerals. I told you there's this African country. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I saw this YouTube video, and I mean, they're sitting pretty. They've got like all these minerals. This little tiny African country is about to be the richest country in the world. And it's all because of this tech revolution. And it's about securing the literal elements of the future. It's the minerals that they're after, the minerals. Anyway, Let's move on to number nine. I don't, like I said, if you've got any comments or feedback on anything like that, I would love to hear your feedback on anything that you might know if you like to add anything. Okay. All right. So number nine. Number nine is the quiet insurance crisis. There is an insurance crisis, which I didn't realize we had a quiet insurance crisis, but apparently we do, and that's happening right now. But give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. I just give me 1 second. I'm busy doing many things at one time. As I mentioned, I'm actually simulcasting on YouTube at the same time that I'm simulcasting on TikTok. And yeah, so I'm doing both of these at the same time. Okay. All right. There we go. So let's go ahead and go back to where we were talking, which was the insurance crisis, right? And that there is a quiet insurance crisis. So the climate change headlines are quieter in the media right now, but they are incredibly loud in their impact. And this is from California to international coastlines. A massive home insurance crisis is unfolding due to the frequency of natural disasters. People are finding it harder and harder to protect their properties. And this ties directly into tomorrow's new moon in Cancer. Well, not technically tomorrow, it's the 14th, on the 14th. And that rules the home, and it rules security, and it rules physical safety. And I feel like a lot of people are dealing with issues that deal with home and security and physical safety right now. So it's a collective wake up call to look at how we build and secure our sanctuaries. So this is number nine. Number 10 is the great educational transformation. So finally, the massive gap between traditional academic curriculum and actual needs of the modern AI-driven workplace has reached a breaking point. We are seeing a massive surge in alternative credentials, industry partnerships, and a rejection of traditional degrees. Gemini rules early education and skills with Uranus there, and the entire landscape of how we learn, how we certify, how we monetize our minds is being completely turned upside down right now. Now, when you look at these 10 topics, because this is crazy when you think about, I heard that there were people who are refusing to use AI at their jobs right now. Like, we're in the middle of a big educational transformation. Things are changing. But when you look at these 10 topics, I mean, it's easy to have anxiety creep in. I mean, if you're going through anxiety, you're not alone. I mean, you're not the only person that's experiencing that. It's easy to have that. And then with Jupiter and Leo, it, it's a time to master your own stage instead of going out and trying to fix the whole global stage, right? It's a time where you need to stay anchored to your own power. And I feel like for a while, a lot of people were just throwing out their power on all kind of things and subjects and getting triggered and, all crashing out and all kind of stuff. But it is time to stay anchored in your own power. Let the world spin. Let the world spin. It's going to do what it's going to do. But you stay anchored in your power. That's what's important right now, okay? All right. All right, my loves. This was my first segment. I've got another, I told you I had a lot to do. And while I'm doing that, of course, I'm going to continue to share the carousel, the Maca Power, the purple hair mask. I highly recommend this. Anyone with light colored hair, blonde hair, want to highlight their hair, I highly recommend it. It also makes the hair feel good and last longer too. It works on natural hair and it works on wigs and it works on all types of hair. So it's get this MAGA power is everything. I'm just telling you. Anyway, I wanted to go on to our next things here. I have more information about this stuff here. I double back on what I said. What's this? Because there, okay, I had a cosmic tie-in. Oh, okay. No, we don't need to go back there. Okay, hold on here, you guys. So let's get to the next one. So the next segment is the pop culture and cosmic gossip, cosmic chaos and gossip. So let's shake off the heavy political energy because anytime I talk about anything that's actually happening in the world, like politically, it feels heavy to me. It always feels heavy to me. It just drains the energy, right? That political, it's heavy political energy. And let's just get into what's really happening in the collective. Okay, what's keeping us awake at night? What we're really kind of thinking about in the back of our minds, right? The absolute chaos in pop culture and celebrity gossip this week. So, number one, I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't start with number one. Number one, of course, is the wedding of the century, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So can we talk about the fact that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have officially tied in, like they're actually married? I told you guys he was all in. I remember coming on TikTok when I first came back like 2 months ago and told you he was all in. I knew it. Anyway, on July 3rd at Madison Square Garden, they finally tied the knot. It was an absolute star-studded event. It was spectacular, over 1,000 guests. Austin Swift as the main man of honor, Jason Kelce as the best man, Adam Sandler officiating. Sierra and Russell Wilson just shared exclusive magical details about it this week. So this was the ultimate manifestation of Jupiter in Leo. That show-off wedding. Leo rules royalty. And Taylor Swift, we have to admit it, is American royalty. And grand spectacles and the stage and the over-the-top cinematic romance. So Jupiter and Leo, so very much so. Jupiter expands it all. It's a massive 1,000 guests wedding at Madison Square Garden, for goodness sake. That is pure unadulterated Jupiter and Leo saying, go big or go home, man. Go big or go home. So number two is the royal reunion that nobody saw coming. I didn't see it. Meghan and Harry visit King Charles. Meghan and Harry went to visit King Charles. In a twist nobody saw coming, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle officially took Archie and Lilibet to the UK for a private family gathering with King Charles and Camilla at Highgrove House. This is the first time that the king has seen his grandchildren in 4 years. Now, look, I gotta say something. This is Mercury retrograde in Cancer. You know that, right? Cancer family. It's retrograde, going back. It's classic. It's textbook, you guys. Cancer rules the family line. It rules the ancestral roots. It rules the home. No matter how angry he was at his son, or no matter how angry the son was at the father, it was inevitable. This had to happen when Mercury went retrograde in Cancer. I'm telling you, they had to talk to each other again. If you once loved your child, how could you ever, I don't care how old they are, not be there for your child? And of course he went to see his father, and his father accepted him. Now, when Mercury goes retrograde here, the past is disinterred, and family reunions that seemed impossible suddenly happened behind closed doors. And that's exactly what happened. It's about emotional reconciliation. It's about looking backward to heal the foundation. That's the best thing we can do with Mercury going retrograde in Cancer, is to go back and heal the foundation. I think that was beautiful, by the way, that they were able to do that. Anyway, let's move on to the next. And of course, like I said, if anyone has any comments or anything about these topics, Please, by all means, share your opinions. I love to hear what other people are thinking. So number three is Ariana Grande, her lyric change and the X appeal. Now, y'all, I don't know if you heard about this, but Ariana Grande is currently on her Eternal Sunshine tour, and the fans went wild at her Austin show when her ex-boyfriend, Ricky Alvarez, was spotted in the crowd. And Ariana actually changed the lyrics to "Thank You" next, right on the stage, singing "He Still Has My Back." Like, not "Thank You" next. "He still has my back. He still has my back." You know what she's saying? Sending the internet into an absolute tailspin over reconciliation rumors. He still has my back. He still has my back. Still has my back. That's what she was saying. Okay. The cosmic tie-in here, Mercury retrograde strikes again. Mercury retrograde. Look, I'm trying to keep my cool because I have Mercury in Aquarius in the first house and mutual interception with Uranus in the eighth house. So I get a little rabid when I get excited. Please bear with me. But Mercury retrograde is famous for bringing the exes back from the dead. I'm telling you, that's what Mercury retrograde does. It will bring those exes back. You thought they died, actually, and they are still alive. They show up on your door or on your phone or in your DM, texting you at your job. Y'all be careful. These exes are crawling back into your space. They looking for these old flames with these rose colored glasses, forgetting all the stuff that made y'all break up in the first place. I'm just saying, and you combine that with that Mars and Gemini. I was talking about that Mars and Gemini earlier. It rules quick-witted lyric changes and sudden on-stage pivots and all kind of things. You get this instant viral relationship speculation. I'm not saying that they are back and reconciling, but Mercury is retrograde and Pluto is retrograde, and when things go retrograde, things like that happen. So just saying that could possibly be something. Someone, I didn't do the research on this, so I'm not really sure exactly who this is because I'm not really into this particular genre. But Maren Morris hard launches Cassidy Pope. Some of y'all out there are going to know exactly what I just said. This is the summer romance is officially in the air. Country star Maren Morris just broke the internet by hard launching her relationship with Cassidy Pope. Now, I don't know who either of these women are, but this was like, you got to talk about this. It was in a gorgeous Instagram photo slide showing them heading to a wedding together, and fans are swooning and the comment sections are melting down. Now, this is because, I'm tying everything into astrology. This is a beautiful Mars and Gemini energy. Mars and Gemini, it rules pairs, duals, and dualities. And Mars brings the bold, passionate action to step out and make it official. And, it's the twins, right? The whole twin soul, twin flame, twin everything is all Gemini-ish. So it's fast, it's fresh, it's totally unapologetic. It's exactly how Mars and Gemini likes to communicate its desires. It just like bam in everybody's face. So that's why it took over the internet. Now I don't even know or didn't know who Maren Morris was or Cassidy Pope, but I'm sure everyone's talking, so we're all gonna know. Number five. Number five is Hollywood's millennial nostalgia loop. So if you feel like you've stepped back into a time machine lately, when you look at the entertainment news, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Hollywood is officially trapped in a millennial franchise loop. Toy Story 5, Scary Movie 6, 6, dominating the theaters. Amazon Prime just dropped the 90s set of Legally Blonde prequel, the L. And Mike Myers just confirmed an Austin Powers prequel is officially on the way. Like what? So yeah, all of that is happening right now. All that millennial time machine stuff is going on. So the astrologically, the cosmic tie-in here is that this is what happens. Again, here we go. This is what happens when Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. It meets up with Uranus and Gemini. Cancer is intensely nostalgic. It loves thinking about the past. Ah, family, past, all the things that happened when they were little, deeply attached to the comfort of the past and childhood memories. And Uranus is a child, or Gemini, Uranus and Gemini is activating the child, by the way, but also nostalgia, and it digitizes it, like communication, digital. It's reinventing the old intellectual properties, like all the old stuff that used to just be on vinyl or just used to be on like regular video. Now they're digitizing everything so we'll never lose it, right? And it's turning them into modern commercial loop. It's into a modern commercial loop. Like it's just amazing. We are literally recycling our childhoods right now. I have to admit it's happening. It's happening everywhere. Anyway, let's move on to number 6. And that is that Pitbull. Yes, Pitbull. Pitbull sets a bizarre new world record. I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I'm like, Pitbull? So Pitbull is finally, because the universe loves a random moment. And this is a random moment. You won't believe what this is. But Mr. Worldwide himself, Pitbull, set a Guinness World Record in London's Hyde Park right before his British summertime festival set. He got 22,141,000 fans to simultaneously wear bald caps to create the largest gathering of bald caps in human history. I cannot make this shit up. I'm sorry. This happened. This happened, y'all. This happened. So the astrology tie-in, the bald head people, right? The bald head people. The astrology tie-in is that finally, right? That this is funny because it's the unhinged side of Mars and Gemini Mars and Uranus in Gemini, but it's also mixed with Jupiter and Leo, right? They're all copacetic with each other. So crazy things are happening. Jokes are happening. Gemini rules the head and hair. And so does Aries, by the way, because we've got planets in Aries. That's also in alignment with this, but, or lack thereof, right? Lack thereof. And Uranus rules eccentric, bizarre group activities. And that's exactly what happened. Toss in Jupiter and Gemini, demanding a massive crowd in participation and theatrical fun. And you get 22,000 people standing in the park with a bald cap on their head. That's what happened. It's playful. It's ridiculous. It happened. It's pure performance art. Anyway, you see, my loves, the celebrities are feeling this fast-paced, nostalgic energy just as much as we are. It's just coming out differently, whether they're throwing massive weddings, changing lyrics for their exes, or wearing bald caps in the middle of London. The cosmic current forces everyone to express themselves. The question is, how are you going to use this energy to launch your own main character era? Like, are you going to use it for good, or are you going to use it for negative? Are you going to use it for fun? Or are you going to use it to bring other people down? Because this is a choice now. I had said something earlier in my earlier show that we are in the midst of a cosmic war. I just made a whole video podcast about that, which I'm going to share on YouTube. So do follow me at Astrology A Look Inside on YouTube, by the way. But, or Capricorn, well, Astrology A Look Inside. But yeah, we've got crazy things happening, you guys. I want everyone to be aware of this, everyone. So I want to talk a little bit about some more of this stuff, about what's going on. I know that I talked about Travis and Taylor's wedding because, this star-studded thing, but I just wanted to say something else about it. I got more. I got more. Okay. I am not done. That's what I'm trying to let y'all know. I am not done with the pop culture and TikTok drama. Now we got some other stuff in cosmic chaos. I got more stuff to talk about because unless you've been living under a rock, I mean, you have to know that, Taylor and Travis got married on July 3rd, right, at Madison Square Garden. But the tea this week is about the wedding raffle details. There was wedding raffle. Did anyone know about the wedding raffle? Anyway, guess actually won things like custom Chanel purses. Can you imagine? And just last night, the newlyweds were spotted looking stunning, matching pastel pink outfits, attending their pal Juju Smith-Schuster's wedding. So this is the ultimate manifestation of Jupiter and Leo. Like they're really Jupiter and Leo right now. This is like royalty and grand stage and over the top celebrations. Really happy. It's a main character energy. Jupiter expands everything it touches. And having a massive multi-day arena-sized wedding, I mean, my goodness, and rolling up to events draped in luxury pink is pure Jupiter and Leo saying, the spotlight is mine, it belongs to us, I am the queen of the day. So that's pretty much what's been going on with Taylor and Travis. Anyway, now let's talk about number 2, which is the secret lives of Mormon wives drama that exploded on TikTok. Now, I haven't been around TikTok, so I'm new to everything that's going on here. But listen, if you're on TikTok, your feed is probably being absolutely held hostage by the Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and Dakota Mortensen fallout. It just took a toxic turn on TMC. Now, Dakota's roommate posted a viral video of the absolute aftermath of their screaming match. But to make it juicier, leaks claim that Taylor was begging Dakota to publicly roast her co-star Demi Engelman on TikTok after Demi's husband took shots at her online. It is pure, unadulterated reality TV chaos. There's just chaos. That's all that is. Anyway, this is what happens when Mars and Uranus collide in Gemini. That's the astrology part of it, okay? It's Gemini. And we got Mars there and Uranus there. Anything is possible. I keep trying to tell you guys that. It's just silliness. Neighborhoods, local friend groups, catty gossip. This is all, look, this is called the gossip mill tonight. Why? Because I am doing nothing more than running my mouth and gossiping. That's because this is all about that's all that's out there right now. It's so much gossip out there. So people are recording everything too, by the way. Everybody's recording everything. Like you think you're going to crash out and nobody's going to catch that on film? Oh, they're going to catch it and they're going to put it on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok and you're going to get blasted. People are losing their jobs because they're crashing out. I'm telling you, this is what's happening right now because of Mars and Uranus in Gemini. Because all of this is what happens. It brings shocking public exposures. It's Uranus and Gemini. So, people are also leaking text. They're treating their personal lives like weaponized media. It's happening everywhere. It's peak messy air sign energy. Air signs can get messy, especially when they start talking and communicating and texting and exposing everybody's business. And that's exactly what we're seeing happening in real time. So let's move on to number 3. And of course, like I said earlier, if anyone has any information on this or wants to share anything about this, go ahead and discuss that if you like to do that. And once again, I'm just going to take this moment to, briefly mention Carousel, the maca powder. It's purple hair mask. It's great if you have light hair, blonde hair, or you want to highlight your hair. It gives you highlights. It lightens your hair. It's wonderful. I love this stuff. I highly recommend it. Okay, so this next number 3 here is about Ryan Reynolds. Okay, this is the great Ryan Reynolds studio leak. So the internet went into an absolute tailspin over a massive dump of leaked production emails from Ryan Reynolds. Everyone logged on expecting scandalous Hollywood gossip, but the plot twist is that the emails just showed him acting like a frustrated general contractor, aggressively demanding better safety protocols, fair working conditions, and better hours and better crew conditions for the camera operators. So public opinion completely swung in his favor. Anyway, this is the beautiful Venus in Virgo, like so practical. Like he could have used his fame for anything, but he used it to do something to better the people that work around him. And this Venus and Virgo energy, it just rolled out on July 9th. But Virgo rules the working class. Virgo rules people who work. It rules daily labor. Of course, he was going to look out for the camera operators. It rules things like safety protocols and meticulous organization. And while Mars and Gemini leaked the data, right? Because Mars and Gemini just spills everything everywhere. Venus and Virgo stepped back and said, actually, we value a man who looks out for the crew and demands practical, safe operations. So kudos to you, Ryan Reynolds. He's one of my favorite actors right now. And anyway, he's always hilarious. So I'm really glad to see that he stood up and spoke out for the people that work for him and around him. So let's move on to number four. Number four, and it is You Never Take Me to Bangladesh, TikTok brain rot. I don't know anything about this, but it says if you've opened TikTok in the last 48 hours, and I'm actually on my computer right now, so I haven't technically, you might have heard that 49-second acoustic song track, Bangladesh, by Ian McConnell. And it starts off sounding like a serious relationship complaint, like, you never take me to Bangladesh. And then immediately dissolves or devolves into an absurd demands about sausages, oil, novels, and revenge. And SZA and Lizzo are in the comments, and everyone is using the audio to deadpan fake arguments with their partners. So that's kind of cute. Anyway, the astrology or cosmic tie into this is it's the hilarious side of Mars and Gemini. Mars and Gemini, I'm telling you, anytime Mars is in Gemini, things are going to be kind of funny because Gemini is naturally funny. They are tricksters, jokesters, pranksters. They're not really someone you really should be taking serious. That's why I've always questioned those who are so into who. I'm like, that's a Gemini. How can you take that so seriously? And and then complain after. Anyway, mixed with Mercury retrograde, it's the combination of Mars in Gemini and the Mercury retrograde in Gemini in Cancer, because Cancer wants to cry about its relationship. Cancer really wants to cry and be emotional about stuff. That's what Cancer does. But Mars in Gemini wants to make it funny. It wants to turn it into something fast and witty and like a joke, right? So the comedy lives entirely in the gap between the high emotional drama, Cancer crying, and total intellectual absurdity, like silliness. Anyway, let's move on to the next subject. The next one is number 5 is the Empire State Building proposal memes. Okay, so there is a super dramatic, high budget rooftop proposal video at the top of the Empire State Building that went completely viral this week. But instead of everyone being romantic, the internet and major brands completely hijacked the video, turning it into a massive, hilarious meme format. It's mocking how over the top and staged the whole thing looked. So it's sadly, right? Anyway, the astrology tie-in is that this perfectly captures the tension of the week. Someone tried to do a grand theatrical cinematic Jupiter and Leo proposal, but the internet, fueled by cynical Venus and Virgo and smart, sarcastic Mars and Gemini, said this is too performative and let's roast it. So they roasted it, which is totally sad. It was just a proposal, so sad. People have been very cynical lately. Oh my gosh, people are so cynical. Oh, it's been bad. Anyway, let's talk about number six. Now, I don't know how to say her last name right, so bear with me before I even get here. But number six is the Real Housewives meltdown. This is Melania. Is it Judici? 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 I don't know how to say it. And her sisters. Melania and her sisters, okay? And finally, the ultimate family text message drama. So TMC had dropped screenshots of Melania Judicis, or did I see Melania text fights with her sisters. Okay, so following alleged blowout at Teresa's mansion, her sister Gabriella called the cops, claiming Melania was literally throwing candles and food and leaked text, and they are calling each other keyboard warriors. I didn't see it, but apparently it was something to look at. Anyway, astrologically, the cosmic tie-in here is that Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. We're talking about family here. This is Mercury retrograde in Cancer at its absolute finest, because Cancer rules the home, it rules the mother, it rules the sisters, it rules the family. And when Mercury goes retrograde here, the claws come out. I bet these girls have always fought. It's going to come out inside the home. It's going to come out inside the house. It's going to come out inside the family. Okay. And whatever was already in there ready to burst and they held in for years came out during Mercury retrograde in Cancer. There it is. Old family resentments blow up. Things get thrown. Siblings group chat gets leaked out into the public. You can't make this mess up. I'm just saying. You see, my loves, the stars are making everyone act they're they're acting out their deepest impulses right now. Like, some people might not act this way normally, but under certain conditions, certain transits, things happen. Now, whether they're throwing $1 million wedding or they're throwing candles at their sisters or screaming on TikTok, the energy is loud. But as self-possessed queens, I have to sit back here. I'm just saying, and watch, and I'm going to drink my tea right now, because there's just too much going on. I'm not going to participate in the circus going on out there. I'm just saying, I refuse to do it. They had said something about the Ghana Black Stars. What are the Ghana Black Stars? It says the internet and TikTok are absolutely buzzing right now because the Ghana Black Stars World Cup dream officially came to a heartbreaking end after battling through an insane travel schedule across Toronto, Boston, and Philly. They made it to round 32, only to get knocked out in a brutal, narrow 1-0 loss to Columbia in Kansas City. And the drama off the pitch is even louder than the game itself. So let's break this down for a second. So this is number 7, you guys. The Black Stars, this Ghana Black Stars, a heartbreak, and coach Carlos Queiroz resigns. So fans in Accra and all over TikTok are completely tearing into the technical team right now. Everyone is complaining that Captain Jordan Ayew was playing below standards. The midfield was slow. The team looked too scared to lose rather than playing to win. And it was an absolute, the biggest tea that broke is that the head coach, Carlos Queiroz, officially resigned immediately following the exit. He's out. The fans are demanding a complete structural overhaul, and the media is tracking every single bit of the fallout. Now, I did not know about them, but the cosmic or astrology tie into all of this chaos is that Mercury is retrograde in Cancer and Saturn is in Aries. I mean, first of all, any kind of time you see squares, that's working overtime, okay? But Cancer rules the native homeland and the deep tribal pride. So the collective grief and the defensive anger from the Ghanaian fans is hitting a massive emotional peak. Like, they're really angry. Meanwhile, the Saturn in Aries is bringing down the hammer on leadership. A sudden high profile resignation from the coach is classic during Saturn. that type of transit, that kind of square. Forcing accountability when foundation strikes. The foundation was struck. Ghana now has until September to find a new leader before the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers kick off. So whether it's reality TV stars fighting on TikTok or national football teams imploding after a World Cup loss, the universe is clearing out some old guard right now. I told you I lost my website. I lost two websites I had for 20 years. Look, don't stress these endings. There are a lot of people who are experiencing endings right now. Things might be ending that you never thought would ever end. I never thought in a million years I would lose my website that I had since 1997. But my loves, this is all preparation and work for a brand new cycle. Just know that. Just know that. So I wanted to move on to a special segment because, look, I'm not leaving nobody out. I'm just saying, I'm not leaving nobody out. So I created another special segment. But before I go there, I just want to remind everybody about this carousel and this maca hair powder that can highlight your hair and lighten light hair. It's good for blonde hair and gray hair to give your hair more color and more vibrancy and highlights. I love this stuff. I just want you guys to know, and it conditions the hair as well. Anyway, let's move on to what I am calling the pop culture and Black Hollywood tea. Yes, I did call it Black Hollywood tea, and cosmic chaos. So this is where we're going to get into some real tea that is burning up, YouTube and other places and TikTok, whatever. Because let's be honest, between Mars and Uranus colliding in Gemini, and everyone is making everyone block each other. Everyone blocking each other. Like, so many people are blocking each other right now. And also Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Oh, come on. Bringing family and friendship drama out of the woodwork is happening. Black Hollywood is giving us pure cinematic theater this week. There is a lot going on, y'all. So I want you to grab your drinks if you haven't already done so, because this is the second half of what I'm about to do tonight, or third half, because I've been at this all night long. I've been at this for hours. But look, this is what the blogs and stuff are talking about. So number one is Megan Good shuts down the womb watchers, the AI deep fakes. I had saw that video of Megan Good walking around with that pregnant belly. Did anybody else see that video of Megan Good walking around with that pregnant belly? I know I saw it. Anyway, first up, we have to talk about Megan Good completely clearing the air on the Gossip and the Instagram this week. A photo that went absolutely viral showing her with a massive baby bump. She looked at least 6, 7, 8 months pregnant. And the internet immediately started celebrating and speculating that Megan was pregnant. And Megan had to step out and say, bye, womb watchers. I am not pregnant. That viral video is AI. It is AI paparazzi, AI generated. This is why AI is getting such a bad name, because of ish like that. I swear when I saw it on YouTube, it had like 1 million hits. So yeah, that's not true. Megan Good is not pregnant. You heard it here first if you haven't heard it already. Now, the cosmic tie into this, and how I like to tie everything into astrology, is that Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. I mean, that alone is going to have people talk about baby bumps and stuff, but also Mars and Uranus and Gemini. Cancer rules the womb. It rules the female parts. It rules pregnancy. It rules women and mothers in general and family structures. Gemini rules technology and digital media and information. But with Uranus and Mars and Gemini, we are seeing internet rumors fueled by literal AI deepfakes. They're not real, you guys. Some of these things are getting started by things that are not even real. And Mercury retrograde is making everyone double check what is actually real versus what is simulation. That's one of the reasons why AI has gotten such a bad name. That's one of the reasons why I said Meta AI has shut down the ability to make the vibes. I think it's probably because of too much of these AI simulations and fakes. So let's go to number 2. I need tea for this one. Lord. You know the black gossip, the black tea was going to be the best tea. You knew that was going to be the tea. Hold on. So anyway, this is spiritual warfare. JT versus Pastor Jackie O. Anybody been on this? So the Shader Room went crazy over this one. So the City Girls JT just got completely blocked on social media by her childhood idol, gospel singer and pastor Jackie O. Jackie O publicly called her out over JT's controversial new Satan's ex-wife artistic imagery, posting "Pastors don't chase clout" and shutting the door on her. So, wow. So this is Jupiter in Leo colliding with Gemini transits. Gemini, I told you, is in everybody's business, right? All nosy, talking about everything. And Leo rules the stage. Leo rules the over the top, the theatrical, the art, the dramatic, the self-expression. That's JT, right? Which JT is channeling very heavily. But Jupiter in Leo can also expand righteous ego. Righteous ego. Because the ego is so big when Jupiter is in Leo, it can cause problems. So when an unyielding spiritual authority meets a bold fire sign artistic statement, the result is an instant dramatic public blocking over who holds the moral high ground. They were friends. I don't know how long they're going to be able to remain that way. So let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is Young Miami Spend That. Everybody was talking about that. Oh, my spending. Anyway, Young Miami Spend That viral backlash with Rihanna's cosign. So speaking of the city girls, I had to say this, right? Young Miami dropped her new track, Spend That. And the YouTube comment sections were absolutely dragging it, calling it viral brain rot. But honey, when you are a queen, you have royal backup. So none other than Rihanna and Monica stepped into the mix as this week publicly co-signing the track and telling the haters to turn that back on. So the cosmic tie-in here is that this perfectly captures the tension between Venus in Virgo and Jupiter in Leo. Venus in Virgo entered the sky on July 9th, that's 2 days or 3 days ago now, making the general public hypercritical, because everybody's hypercritical, picky, and ready to judge every little detail of the music. They just want to judge everything, because I told you, did anyone... Anyway, I got it on YouTube, all the stuff they did to that poor girl with the Supergirl. Oh, Lord. Worst flop, I think. Anyway, I just want you to know, because Jupiter in Leo represents true industry royalty. Jupiter in Leo is all about royalty. And Rihanna, who is music royalty, stepped in with a loud, protective main character energy to say, we don't care about the critics, build the hype. So Rihanna's like, that's my song, turn that ish back up. And so, when the queen says turn it up, we turn it up. That's what happened. Anyway, let's move on to number 4. Right now, number 4, was it Josie Smollett and Caramel Brown? They hard launch in a public PDA. So the blogs are completely stunned by this unexpected new it couple. Queer Eyes Caramel Brown just confirmed a whirlwind romance with Jussie Smollett, being spotted out together, engaging in major public PDA. And Karamo is literally, he told the media, I finally met my equal. He's happy. So this is pure, unadulterated, cinematic Jupiter and Leo. Look, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it big. If you're going to fall in love, you're going to fall in love big when Jupiter is in Leo. This is a Jupiter and Leo romance. Leo loves grand gesture. They love it. And it's a public declaration of love. That's the way Leo likes to do it. A relationship that feels like a Hollywood script. I mean, Josie Smollett is coming back from a really horrible experience in life. So this is beautiful for both of them. Anyway, Jupiter expands the desire to be seen and celebrated in love, especially Leo, because Leo rules love, you know, it's the king of love, right? Making people completely unapologetic about hard launching their relationships and their partnerships to the world. They don't care. People who are in love are really going to fall deep right now when Jupiter is in Leo. So let's talk about number 5. And that is the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion fallout already. They fallout already. So Kay, Michelle, and Shamia unfollow each other. So, oh Lord, let's go into this. And finally, for my Bravo lovers, the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion is currently filming, and the behind the scenes mess is already spilling onto YouTube. Okay. Kay Michelle and Shamia Morton just officially unfollowed each other on Instagram, and rumors are flying that they nearly came to blows on the couch over allegations regarding an ATL athlete. Ooh, they fighting over a man. Anyway, the fans are already screaming, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Lord. Anyway, the cosmic tie-in, the astrology tie-in here is that Mercury retrograde in Cancer is messing with the Mars in Gemini and Mars and Uranus in Gemini alignment. That combination, all this stuff is all the mess, right? That's all the mess. And Cancer rules the inner circle, it rules the sisterhood, it rules loyalties. But when Mercury goes retrograde there, hidden betrayals in the friend group gets exposed. Mars and Gemini makes the finger snap fast, leading to sudden social media unfollows and sharp verbal reads. Okay, it's an instant block party before the episode even airs. Like they've already blocked each other, and the episodes haven't even aired yet. You know, so that's what's going on. Also, the takeaway from all of this, you guys, okay, from all of this that I've talked about, is that you see how it works, right, loves? You see how this works, right? Whether it's Megan, Good fighting the AI bots who are showing her pregnant when she's not, or JT clashing with the church because of something she did creatively, or the housewives tearing up the reunion couch. The collectives are feeling this loud right now. It's hot, it's heavy energy, it's hot-headed. I mean, all that we got that Aries energy going with that Neptune in Aries and that Saturn in Aries. It's just making it worse, believe me. But I just don't want anyone to get messy, okay? I don't want to get messy, and I don't want to be messy about any of this stuff. Someone had just said, Connor, if you're still there, I would love for you to share your story. Someone had said, don't buy this, my hair fell out. And, you know, I've been talking about carousel this whole time with the purple hair mask. Now, I did not experience anything like that, but I would love to hear your side of the story because I think that's important. Someone had said that. Share your story. To me, it conditioned the hair, but it, you know, it I would love to hear your story. Okay. I don't want to just hear you say something and then leave without sharing that, because that's serious. That's a serious thing to say, right? And if that's the case, I would love to hear about what happened to you, Connor. Anyway, let's go into a special segment that I felt that I had to talk about. Like, if I'm going to talk about current affairs, if I'm going to talk about the black tea, if I'm going to talk about how the world, how we're being affected by the planets right now, I had to come and hold space for Nolan Wells. I had to. Okay. This is something that I couldn't not talk about. Okay. Because my loves, we have to pause the gossip for a moment, because there is an incredibly heavy cloud hanging over the collective this weekend. Okay. I mean, I see you guys have been talking about it, right, in the chat. We have to talk about Nolan Wells. And for those who haven't seen the YouTube blogs or the news updates that just broke yesterday, well, Nolan was a brilliant 18-year-old college football player who went missing on July 4th during a boat trip to Horn Island with friends. His body was tragically found 2 days later. And this weekend, his family held a massive emotional press conference with civil rights attorney Ben Crump. They are demanding a thorough independent investigation because the details surrounding the final hours, his phone, and deleted Snapchat messages are simply not adding up to the people who loved him. I found out a couple of different things, on Facebook and Instagram about Nolan. One, that he was actually Black and Asian. His grandmother was Asian, so the Asian community is also mourning. I don't know how many people know that, especially because we've had some Black and Asian issues lately amongst us, and suddenly here it is. We're both mourning the same child, right? We're both mourning the same child right now. And I just, again, I just want to talk about the astrology of it before I go any deeper. But this heartbreaking case is exactly why people are feeling so emotionally volatile right now. Like, we are sitting in the dark of the moon right before a Cancer new moon. You realize that Cancer rules, is the ruler of, like the moon rules Cancer, right? It's like home, which is exactly conjunct Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Okay, so Cancer rules the mother, Cancer rules the family, and Cancer rules protection. Cancer rules an urge to defend our children. It is that urge. I mean, it's that. It's the collective. It's like, it's feeling his mother's grief. Look, I cried because when I stopped and I thought about it, first of all, the boy couldn't swim. He shouldn't even have been out there with these people, okay? Because he can't swim. But then there were other people, because they had tried to shut this case down like it was accidental, because one of the kids that he was with is related to the main judge in the city. Okay. I've been investigating, and they were just going to hush this up. But look, reality check. What teenage person is not going to have their phone? Who's going to do anything without their phone? Even if it ain't working, you're not going to let anyone else get your phone. You're not just going to not have your phone. That's number one. But also, if you have friends, if you came with somebody, why would you leave without that person? You came in the car together. Why aren't you leaving in the car together? Why would you leave your friend on some island? None of this is adding up, y'all. Then there were some people who were also there, not a part of his friend group, but they were showing videos, like maybe they recorded it or something was happening in the background. And this poor boy, Nolan, was in the middle of a fight. He was already being attacked before he disappeared, supposedly. Anyway, something bad happened. Oh, the other fact. The coroner says he didn't have any water in his lungs. That means he was dead before he already hit the water. Okay. So there's a lot of people feeling grief because we know there is foul play. It doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it just doesn't make sense. We can't just say, "Oh no, he accidentally died." No, no, this is not an accidental death. This seems more like a potential murder situation going on here, and I think we need to treat it as such. Anyway, this Mars and Uranus colliding in Gemini, while at the same time the Cancer new moon and the retrograde Mercury in Cancer is happening, it rules technology and data and communication. And that's why the case ended up getting so huge socially, like massive social media. It's everywhere. That's why I know so much, because the internet is literally parsing through timelines, like demanding digital transparency and using data to push for the truth. Like we're all like scratching our heads like, wait, that doesn't make sense. So when tragedies like this shake our foundations, it tests our strength. It tests our strength as people. But we're not looking at the gossip here. We're looking at a family that is fighting for truth, and they're fighting for justice for his life. Now, tonight, as we approach this highly emotional Cancer new moon, I want to pull our collective energy and to send a massive protection, strength, and light to Nolan's mother, Christine, and his entire family. And we are demanding transparency, and we are holding space for the truth to be brought completely into the light. So I had to say that, okay? Because we're going to lower this energy right now just a little bit, just to bring it all the way down into a space of pure reverence and light. And let's take a collective deep breath together. Inhale peace, and exhale the tension and the noise of the world. There's so much tension and noise in the world right now. And there is an incredibly heavy cloud hanging over our spirits right now. We cannot talk about the sky without talking about the heavy collective grief that we're all carrying for Nolan Xavier Wells and his beautiful mother, Christine. The blogs are crying. The comment sections are heavy. And as a spiritual collective, our hearts are deeply bruised. When a young, beautiful soul is lost and a mother is left pleading for the truth, oh gosh, this, don't get me crying. It echoes through the soul of every single one of us, especially of us who are of the African diaspora, who have children. It causes anger. It causes deep fear, and it tests our faith. So tonight, right now, we are creating a sacred circle of healing. We are going to pull our spiritual energy, our intentions, and our light to console the broken hearts and lift up the spirits that feel weary. So here is a collective prayer, a declaration of truth, and a message of pure healing for our community tonight. So, number one, I want I want to validate the pain and the shifting frequency. Like, if this really hits you, I don't want you to make pretend it's not. I feel like a lot of us are acting so tough as this world is crumbling around us. And I don't know if this is the time for us to act tough. Okay. So I want to say, first of all, to anyone who's here watching me right now, that whose spirit is feeling heavy, that, or, that is anxious or angry or feeling like they're near tears, your feelings are entirely valid. Your feelings are entirely valid. Do not run from this grief because it's real. And with this new moon coming up on the 14th in Cancer, right? Sitting right next to this Mercury retrograde in Cancer, the cosmic mirror is reflecting our deepest wounds. It around protection, around family, around safety, around, our family. And it is natural to want to build a wall around your heart when the world feels this unsafe. For a lot of people right now, they are feeling completely unsafe, which is awful because we've got this new moon coming up in Cancer, which is about security and safety and love and family and all that kind of stuff. And there are so many people, especially of the African diaspora, that don't feel that. So the darkness cannot survive the light. Okay, wherever the light is consciously directed. So if we're going to direct the light here, we're not going to let our spirits be broken by the confusion. There's confusion afoot. We're going to wrap ourselves in a high vibe frequency of divine protection. That's what we're going to do. So tonight, we're going to make a divine decree into the spiritual realm. If you're here with me, I just want you to know I've got amethyst. I've got my crystals here. My brain is on this here. So just so that you know. So we decree that comfort wraps around Nolan's mother and family like a warm, thick blanket of absolute peace. We ask that the angels of consolation stand guard at their door, protecting their minds, their bodies, and their spirits as they walk through this valley. We decree that the truth cannot be hidden. The universe is a perfect recording mechanism. With Mars and Uranus sitting in Gemini, we call upon the winds to clarify, to blow away the fog. We decree that every hidden thing must be brought entirely to light, completely, transparently, and swiftly. We decree healing for the collective nervous system. We release the grip of panic. We release the heavy spirit of despair. And we reclaim our sovereignty. So to my beautiful community, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whenever you're seeing this message, to my sovereign souls, remember who you are. You are a child of the Most High Universe. You are not helpless. Your prayers carry weight, and your thoughts create reality. When the collective, I just want to say this, okay? I'm going to put my feet on the earth and I'm going to pour love into my children, into children, and light a candle for justice. But, do not light the fire to burn down your house. Keep your light clean, keep your boundaries high, keep your vibration pure during a time like this. It's time to protect your energy during a time like this. I mean, I don't want you to let tragedy consume you during a time like this. We are in a cosmic war. I have said it before. I am saying it again. There is a spiritual war. There are some people that might come, and I had some guy earlier say, oh, someone said you're a sham. Sham what? I'm not doing anything unless they're talking about the carousel that I'm promoting up here. But no, I'm real because, I realize we're in a spiritual war. I only come out to do what I do because I realize that. And you can actually feel that if you pay attention. If you go to certain platforms and you see like one video after the next video after the next video after the next video, and it's all about people getting beaten or killed or raped or whatever it is, or racism or hatred or violence. It's everywhere. We are definitely in that period right now. So I definitely want to do a healing benediction before I go any further. Okay, so let's do that. May the peace that passes all human understanding guard your hearts and minds tonight. May you feel the literal hands of the divine lifting the weight off your chest. We send our love, our light, and our absolute demand for divine justice straight to Mississippi, straight to Nolan's family, and straight to the ether. You are safe. You are protected. You are deeply loved. Sleep in peace tonight, my loves. The universe has its eyes on the clock, and the truth always wins. Okay. So let's take another collective deep breath together. Because that was a heavy, painful conversation, but we had to have it. Inhale that divine protection and slowly exhale any remaining heaviness. Leave it, let it leave your body. Let it leave your space. All the negativity, all the heaviness, let it leave. So my love, the most powerful way that we can honor the collective is to honor the truth and honor our own spirits, how we actually feel right now. Taking it and owning up to that is taking our power back. We don't leave ourselves helpless in the dark. We turn on the light. So as we sit here tonight and, we're standing in the potent, quiet stillness of the dark moon phase, because on the 14th, the new moon goes into Cancer. This new moon peaks at 22 degrees of Cancer. Cancer is the sign of the cosmic mother. Of course, mothers are being affected right now. It is the sign of deep emotional healing, internal safety, and the sacred sanctuary that we build within ourselves. Even though the world outside is spinning and evil is all around us and the collective is heavy, this new moon is handing us a clean slate where we could possibly start again, especially if you're a Cancer. It's giving us a divine reset button for our emotional baselines. So think about this, about where Cancer is falling in your own horoscope chart, if you know, because I want us to completely transition together into a space of active restorative healing. We are going to move into our Cancer new moon candle lighting manifestation ritual. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go get a candle. If you have a candle nearby, whether it's white for peace or pink for healing or blue for emotional clarity, I want you to go grab your candle right now. If you don't have one, just focus your mind on the flame that I'm about to light myself here on screen. But I want you to pull our energy back from the headlines, because we just talked about a lot of deep stuff. This was heavy, a lot of deep, heavy stuff from the headlines and from the blogs and from our own sovereign temples. Let's light our intentions and ground our spirits and write a new story of peace and emotional wealth for the next 6 months. This affects us for the next 6 months, this new moon. Go ahead and get your candles ready, grab your journals, and let's begin, okay? This Cancer new moon ritual, this Cancer new moon is good to the next Capricorn new moon, right? In 6 months. So give me a second. I'm going to go get my candle, and I'm going to put the music on while I go get the candle and a lighter, okay? Let's do this. See if that is on. There it is. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm going to get my candle. And then for anyone who wants to know who this is, that is Kim, Dance With Me. I love that song. Anyway, you guys, let's go ahead and get things going. We're going to go ahead and change the energy here for a little bit. Okay. Going to go ahead and just cut that off completely while I do this. There's a couple of things I want to do. The first thing I want to do before I light the candle, because we're about to go somewhere very spiritual and reverent, and I really want to make sure I get the mood just right, okay, you guys? But before I go there, I want to make sure that I clear this space here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Again, I have my selenite wand. I'll just wave it through over the screen. And then I'm going to hit this 3 times. We're just going to clear the air really quick before we light. Okay. Next, if you've got your candle, I want you to light your candle. And before we strike the match, because we're going to clear this field, which we did, we have to clear the energy, which we just did a little bit. But I want you to close your eyes for 5 seconds. I just go ahead and close your eyes for 5 seconds here. Visualize a beautiful high vibe shield, a pastel pink and gold light wrapping around your entire room. Nothing can cross this perimeter except pure love, truth, and divine peace. Okay? Now, as you light your candle, say these words aloud or in your heart. I'm going to say them aloud so that you guys hear this, okay? So I'm going to light the candle here as I'm lighting it. Lighting it now. I light this flame to banish the chaos of the world from my mind. I call my energy back from places it does not belong. My peace is non-negotiable. My sanctuary is secure. Okay. Now, with Mercury retrograde sitting right next to this new moon, we aren't just manifesting surface level desires tonight. We are rewriting our emotional foundations. So open your journal. I did tell you guys to get a journal, right? Open your journal and write down this one question. This one question. What boundaries do I need to establish over the next 6 months to ensure my emotional safety and financial peace? One more time. What boundaries do I need to establish over the next 6 months to ensure my emotional safety and financial peace? I want you to go ahead and let the pen move without thinking. Don't think, okay? So, yeah. Write down whatever this is. I mean, okay? And I also want to give you a quick reminder, just a quick reminder while we're doing this. If you want to look deeper into the exact house that 22 degrees of Cancer, this new moon and this retrograde is happening, and Cancer and Jupiter and Leo, and what they're activating in your personal natal chart. Remember that you can grab one of my current alignment flash readings on Kit for just $20 tonight. I've got a special going on, so if anyone is interested, let me know and I will get that link to you. It's just astrology, a look inside uh, dot kit dot com, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, um, this is a great way for you to look at your own personal blueprint for this cycle so that you know exactly where to direct your own magic. Or if you need a full live one-on-one breakdown session with me to clear out old emotional blocks, you can also click on my Calendly link to lock in a deep dive reading. And these are all readily available, these links, if you just go to my YouTube at Astrology, look inside, or you can message me and I can get it to you. So, all right, my loves, as this candle flames settles, and we let that beautiful protective energy fill our spaces. I want you to look over here at the live chat. I want to look at this energy of this digital room. It's absolutely magnificent. It's funny. I just feel the energy, right? The energy that fills our spaces, and we have maybe over so many souls, so many sovereign souls here together tonight. I wanted to see who was in the building. Um, Someone said, yeah, Duna, someone did, Audrey had $10 there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just saying here, I wanted to just make sure that I give you guys all this information. Okay. So let me see who's here. I saw over there that there was a Aries Queen 88 in the chat that was saying that their chest feels tight. They were feeling restless at home this week. Honey, that's exactly what we talked about. With a 22-degree new moon hitting your fourth house of home and inner foundations, while Mars and Uranus are buzzing in your communication sector, you're feeling the literal pressure to clear out your old family dynamics. Like, light that candle, let the restlessness go. Claim your peace. Your home is a sanctuary, not a battleground. Okay? And look at Taurus energy. Because Jupiter in Leo is already kicking my butt. I feel so exposed. I told you people are complaining about it. It's hitting your fourth house of foundations, Taurus. It's forcing you out of your comfort zone so you can make more luxurious, authentic private life. So don't fight the expansion. Let yourself be seen. Look, I've got Taurus in my fourth house, and so I know what it's like to have the moon in the fourth house. I was born with the moon in the fourth house. It makes us very emotional when the moon hits the fourth house. I'm just saying, no matter what your rising or energy or sun sign is, when that moon hits the fourth house, you're going to feel something. I'm just saying. And Gemini goddess, I see you saying my mind is racing so fast I can't sleep. Yes, baby. You got Mars and Uranus sitting right in your first house of identity. So your thoughts are moving like lightning right now. And of course your mind is racing. So use this candle ritual tonight to ground that air energy. Don't try to solve every problem tonight. Don't try that. Write your ideas down in a journal. Let the universe handle all the details. I mean, it's too much. You got Mars and Uranus in Gemini. That's a lot. I mean, no one wants to deal with that much. That's a lot. I feel for you in a way. And of course, we got Cancer risings out there that are like Keisha Cancer says, I'm literally crying right now during this ritual. Let those tears flow, Queen. Yeah, this new moon in is at 22 degrees of your sign of Cancer. So it's right next to Mercury retrograde, but Cancer, I'm telling you, they're going to combine in Cancer at like any moment. So this is your personal astrological new year, Keisha. Any Cancer out there. You are literally washing away the old skin, the old survival mechanisms, and the old conditioning that aren't, sad tears. That's your spirit. It's cleaning it, clearing up the space for your new era. You got a whole new, everything's new. Cancer rising people in particular, like everything's new. This is your new right now. Every year we get a chance to do it again. Every year, every zodiac sign gets a new moon and a full moon. When the new moon comes, that is your new reset for the year. This is Cancer's, okay, on the 14th in 2 days. So know that this is your spirit cleaning for this new era. So I want you guys to keep dropping your signs, my loves. I want to see the Leos and the Virgos and the Scorpios because we're gonna break down all these horoscopes in a second. I actually, before I go, I said I wanted to give you guys gifts for sticking with me so long, and I decided that I was going to do a special little horoscope reading for the zodiac signs, not only just because of this new moon, but because a lot of y'all don't even know how to deal with this Jupiter in Leo. I realized that in this one group I'm on Facebook, Astrology Talk, and people are just up there complaining about Jupiter and Leo. They don't know how to handle this Jupiter and Leo. So I'm going to go ahead and just give each one of the zodiac signs, my take on how you should handle this 22 degrees of Cancer moon and this Jupiter and Leo, and then I'm going to go call it a night for everybody. So let's go ahead and start with the sign of Aries. Now, this is for Aries, anyone with Aries rising or is an Aries, okay? So Aries, and I'm going to keep my candle on. If you want to cut your candle off, it's up to you, but I'm going to keep my on just to keep that energy, that flow, that serene feeling, just to keep it going just a little bit longer because I just feel like we need it tonight. So Aries rising people, the 22-degree Cancer new moon is hitting the base of your chart. It's hitting your fourth house home. The fourth house is your home and your family and your inner foundations. And, you know, all of this is because the moon is square Saturn right now in your sign. And this is a deep emotional boundary check for a lot of Aries people because Saturn's right there in your sign. And so is Neptune. So you are resetting your living space. You're healing your family wounds, Aries, and deciding who gets access to your private sanctuary. True safety starts within. I want you to make sure that your home is safe, that you feel safe, that all is well. Also, Jupiter in Leo is lighting up your magnificent fifth house of romance, true creative passion, and, your main character energy. It's also love and romance and dating and children and fun and dancing. Wow. When Leo hits the fifth house, it's always a good thing because that's its natural house. But when Jupiter hits that, my gosh, that's like triple whammy. All of that fire and all of that is so good for an Aries person. So stop hiding your talents, Aries. Stop. Take a creative risk. You can do that this year. You could take a risk this year, Aries, and you can win this year, Aries. So let yourself be adored. Let yourself be loved. It is your birthright. It is the right time for you right now, okay? Good luck, Aries. So let's talk to Taurus next. Taurus and Taurus rising people. And by the way, anyone who gives me any kind of donation or anything, I will pull cards for you. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm willing to do that. So if anyone's willing to do that or wants that, I can do that for you, just so that you know. Anyway, Taurus, this Cancer full moon at 22 degrees is moving directly through your third house of the mindset. This is about how you're thinking, how you're communicating, and how you're writing and talking with other people. It's Mercury retrograde is sitting right there. Okay, in the third house. I want you to be really careful about what you're saying and what you're communicating. And it's time to stop over intellectualizing your feelings. I want you to be honest about what you're feeling. That use this moon to change how you speak to yourself and rewrite some of the old narratives that probably don't even pertain to you anymore. and express real needs without apology, okay, Cancer? Also, Jupiter in Leo is expanding your fourth house. The fourth house is the house of foundations and property and ancestry and real estate and family and security and comfort. So growth is happening on the inside out. It's happening from the inside. You should be growing from the inside, not so much on the outside, right? Your private life is getting a luxurious golden upgrade over the next year. But this is your private life. So you might feel happy on the inside, whereas you might not have been feeling happy on the inside prior to this. You are expanding your physical space or finding a deep, regal sense of emotional security within your own self. It's within you. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to talk to Gemini and Gemini rising folks. Anyone who has Gemini rising, this 22 degrees of Cancer new moon is activating your second house of money. Gemini and Gemini rising people, it's about the money. It's about what you value. It's about your values. It's about how you value yourself, your own self-worth. It's an incredible portal to manifest some clean financial assets and some financial resets. You might be resetting the way you feel about money and how money affects your life. Mercury retrograde wants you to look back over how you've been managing your money and your resources, while the moon invites you to plant seeds for emotional and material wealth. So claim your value. It's about claiming your value. Also, Jupiter in Leo is blazing through your third house, buzzing your um, well, the third house is mindset, right? Writing contracts and expression. It's all about what you're communicating and writing. And that's where your luck is going to be. Your luck is actually there. With Mars and Uranus currently buzzing in your first house, your words are pure lightning right now. Um, I mean, speak your vision. Okay, Gemini, speak whatever it is your vision is. Launch that podcast, share your ideas fearlessly. The collective is ready to listen to Geminis right now. For some reason, you've got a lot to say, and people are willing to hear what it is. Cancer and Cancer rising people, Cancer at 22 degrees, this new moon, is going to be right inside of your first house, of your identity, of your personality, of yourself. So you're going to feel this new moon. You're going to feel this personally because this is your personal astrological new year. This is like Cancer's new year starts on the 14th. And it's an intense, deeply beautiful, emotional reset button for Cancers because it's square Saturn. Okay. It's demanding that you step out of your protective shell and choose yourself first. It's demanding action from you. Squares demand action. So leave old people pleasing behind. You don't need that anymore. Also, Jupiter in Leo is moving into your second house of finances. This is money. That is Jupiter. That is luck on the money. Cancers, you got luck coming into your money sector. And this is your resources. This is luxury. This is you having abundance. And because abundance is in your life right now. Jupiter is big. So this is big money. This transit brings an incredible roaring expansion to your earning potential. I don't know what you do, Cancer, but I see some Cancers making big money between now and say the end of July of 2027. And your financial confidence is going to build too. I mean, you might even get like investments or windfalls. Like we're talking big money. I think so. So let's move on to Leo or Leo rising. Anyone who has Leo rising or is a Leo, well, this is going to be affecting your, the 22 degrees new moon of Cancer. It's going to be illuminating your mysterious 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of closure, secrets, subconscious, soul level release. It's all internal, really. So use the days surrounding this moon for deep restorative rest, and vivid dream work. Get lots of sleep in, get lots of dreams in. You're closing out an old karmic chapter and you're preparing for the spotlight, Leo. This is about you getting your spotlight. And also Jupiter and Leo, well, Jupiter is right on you. It's right in your first house. I mean, that's yourself, that's your vitality, that's your personality, your actual body. I mean, look, honey, you are the ultimate cosmic favorite for 2026. This Jupiter is literally on you. So this is your absolute glow up, Leo. This is your glow up error. Like this, you won't get this again for 12 years. You ain't had this for 12 years and you're not going to get it again for 12 years. So I want you to make the most of it. Magnetism, sudden opportunities, massive confidence are all overflowing. It's that time. Do not shrink or dim your light because, sometimes we will shrink or dim our light to make insecure people feel better. I've done it. I got Mars in Leo, so I know I do it. But I'm telling you, with Jupiter in Leo, no Leo, no Leo rising, do not shrink. I want you to take up space this year. Let people know who you are. Okay? Next, let's talk to Virgo. So Virgo or Virgo rising, this new moon in Cancer at 22 degrees is seeding your 11th house of networks. Virgos, you have a lot of emotion happening and new things happening when it comes to like community and groups and clubs and organizations you belong to, and any kind of long-term visions that you might have. You might have new things that you're going to think of because, well, Cancer is the new moon. This is happening at 22 degrees. So it's time to curate your circles to know, who your friends are, who your friends aren't. Mercury retrograde is helping you to filter out the noise so that you can align exclusively with a soul tribe that feels emotionally safe and supportive to you. Also, Jupiter in Leo is activating your 12th house of spiritual mastery. I think some Virgos are going to be going deep into the psychology of things. And I feel like some Virgos are also divinely protected. Jupiter is luck. So your luck in the secret hidden places, your luck, other people may not even see it or understand it, but the luck is still there. Your luck might come in your sleep or in your dreams. Your luck comes from behind the scenes. You don't even need to be in the foreground because your luck is coming to you even from behind the scenes. Okay, Virgo? So I want you to trust your guidance. I want you to trust no matter what goes on. If you get a dream about it or intuition about it, follow that. Follow your inner intuition. Libra or Libra rising people, 22 degrees of Cancer, new moon is happening in your 10th house. And the 10th house is your career. It is where you shine. It's like you're illuminated. Everyone can see you. It's the way your public standing, your ambition, your legacy. It could be your actual career, like maybe you have a boss or you become the boss. It's a beautiful moment to evaluate your professional trajectory. Now, it's a new moon. So it's really about grounding your emotions so that they fuel your ambitions rather than distract you, because it could become a distraction on the 14th. Okay, I just want you to understand that. So, it's really important that you understand, because Cancer squares Libra, that this could be an issue of distraction. You're being pushed to step into paths that offer true emotional fulfillment for you, not just some public applause. So just be aware of that. Also, Jupiter in Leo is good because Leo sextiles Libra. That's very good. It's expanding your 11th house of manifestations, like your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your public networking, the people who believe in you or follow you or support you or that you're in groups with or who are friends with you. Your social circles are opening up, and they're opening up brilliantly, by the way. I think you're going to get some influence because Jupiter luck is there. This is very high vibe, you guys. So, there could be some regal people ready to step in and support you. Some of your biggest dreams might come true, Libra. I am not kidding. Your platform is growing, and, step out and let yourself connect. It's reach out to others. Don't be afraid to reach out to others. That could be your luck this year. Okay. Okay. Let me get a sip of tea here. Next, we have the sign of Scorpio and Scorpio rising. And Scorpio, this 22 degrees of Cancer new moon is happening in your ninth house. And the ninth house is the house of higher wisdom. It is a house of spirituality. It's a house of belief systems. It is a house of maybe higher education or travel or government or legal things or spiritual expansion. There's a lot in the ninth house. So a major profound portal for shifting your worldview is occurring. Like your worldview might shift with this new moon. You might have a new take on the way you see things, your whole philosophy. With Mercury retrograde, completely break past any remaining mental limitations, or maybe even break free of imposter syndrome. Even that's possible. But you've got Jupiter in Leo, Leo squares Scorpio, but is sitting at the absolute peak of your chart in your 10th house of professional victory. So your career, your leadership, your status, your public recognition, they're all expanding exponentially. Like Scorpios have a good career potential right now. This is your time to be seen and ultimately be the authority in your field, to own your crown and let other people see you win. It's okay to win, Scorpio. Next, let's talk to Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. So 22 degrees of 22 degrees new moon in Cancer is touching on your 8th house of intimacy, psychology, codependency, share resources, psychological alchemy, right? It's a deep private moment. It's releasing emotional codependency, and clearing some old debts, but it usually has to deal with others and you and money, like your partner, and money, or other people owing you money, maybe some like annuities or insurance or investments or even inheritances. But your natural luck is completely amplified right now by this energy. And it's time to think bigger. It's time to travel. It's time to teach. It's time to publish. It's time to live completely out loud, like to do it. Just do it. The universe is expanding your territory. So I hope you feel this freedom that it's giving you with Jupiter in Leo in the ninth house, because Jupiter is the natural ruler of the ninth house. In other words, Jupiter is home right now. It is happy. Okay. Good luck to you, Sagittarius. Next, we're going to talk to the sign of Capricorn, and this is for Capricorn, Capricorn rising, anyone, myself, I'm a Capricorn with Capricorn rising, but 22 degrees of Cancer new moon is going to directly affect your 7th house, and the 7th house is your house of partnerships, other people, committed partnerships. It could be your husband, your wife, your live-in partner. It could be your business partner. It could be an enemy that doesn't like you, but it's a gorgeous opportunity to set fresh, clean interactions around harmony, mutual support, and emotional safety in your closest relationships. So clear out some of those old communication blocks and retrograde, and start fresh. Okay. Now, Jupiter in Leo is moving into your eighth house. And the eighth house is about collaborative wealth. It is the money that you get from other people. It is working with other people and having them pay you. It is maybe your partner. Again, maybe your partner, the money you get from your partner, if they're sharing, if they're hiding money, if there's joint investments, if it could be some deep spiritual gifts, that too. But this brings major ease and abundance into shared resources that you have with another person. And this could be investments, this could be inheritances, this could be passive streams of income, like, affiliate work. So if you're doing anything like that, that could work out. Also, your energetic and material returns are expanding beautifully. Okay. Okay. So next we're going to talk to Aquarius or Aquarius rising. So if you are an Aquarius, you have Aquarius rising or Aquarius first house, I want you to listen to this, okay? So this 22 degrees, this new moon in Cancer is happening in your sixth house of health. That is your health. That is your daily routine. It's all about wellness. It's all about eating good, following your routines and your schedule, and a sacred devotion to your actual physical body. If you have not been paying attention to your body, if you have not been eating well, sleeping well, exercising well, use this time during this new moon in your physical body to completely streamline your habits and soothe your nervous system. Listen to what your body is whispering to you right now. Listen to your body. Okay. Also, Jupiter in Leo is activating your seventh house. It's opposite you, Jupiter in Leo. And the seventh house is romance and business partnerships. It could be your romantic partner, your live-in partner, or your business partner. It could be an enemy too. I want you to know that. But it directly opposes Pluto in Aquarius right now. So if this Pluto in Aquarius is aspecting anything of yours in the first house or your sun, you are directly going to feel this. And I am going to feel this. This Pluto is sitting exactly on my Mercury. And here I am out here talking, communicating, running my mouth like I've been out at this for hours. And it's because Jupiter in Leo is activating my seventh house of romance and business partnerships and stuff like that. But also, it's directly opposing my Mercury right now, and it's activated my Mercury. So I have this urge to come out and talk. Pluto wants to talk. I mean, it's powerful. It's got a lot of things it wants to say. And it's cinematic because Jupiter is cinematic, deeply fulfilling connections with others, like soulmate contracts and beneficial agreements are heavily favored over the coming year. I just have this urge to come out and talk and communicate with other people, which I normally don't have. But that is Jupiter in my seventh house doing what it's doing. Also, love is stepping up to match your new power. So some people with this Jupiter in Leo in the seventh house might fall in love or even get married during this time. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. I think you need to know. So let's move on to the last sign. And the last sign is the sign of Pisces. Now, this is for Pisces sun, Pisces rising, anybody who has Pisces in the first house, because this message really is kind of pertaining to you. But 22 degrees of Cancer, this new moon happening, is blossoming beautifully in your fifth house. I love the fifth house of romance. I love that this is affecting your fifth house, Pisces, because this is romance and it's creative expression and it's joy and it's fun and it's parties and it's dancing and it's love and it's dating and it's all of those beautiful things and children. So cast your manifestations for artistic success and playfulness and heartfelt happiness. Revisit old creative projects with Mercury retrograde because they have gold hidden in them, okay? And also for Pisces and Pisces rising, Jupiter in Leo This is streamlining your sixth house of daily lifestyle. This is your work environment, your health, your physical health. It brings massive protection to your well being and opens the doors to incredibly joyful, rewarding daily work. So, your daily work life is about to be much more celebratory and light and rewarding. So, that's a good thing. So, no matter where these transits hit your unique chart, remember the darkness of the new moon is where the seeds take root. Right now, during the new moon, we are planting seeds in the area where this is happening. And the fire of Leo is what coaxes them to bloom. So own your magic, stand tall on your throne, and let's manifest an incredible new era together. And thank you. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with me on Astrology After Dark. Don't forget, if you want to know the exact mathematical degree and house where this Cancer new moon and Jupiter in Leo is landing in your own unique personal horoscope or birth chart, my current alignment flash readings are officially open on Kit now for just $20. And it's where I record, I pull up your chart, I record the reading for you and send the digital reading to you instead of doing a live reading, which would cost you a lot more. But this is officially open for $20 on Kit. It's fast, it's a personalized video reading delivered straight to you, no one else. Or you could, if you're ready, go for a full live breakthrough session where you can unlock or lock in a deep dive reading with me on my, and you can get that on my Calendly link. That is calendly.com/astrology a look inside. Again, that's calendly.com/astrology a look inside. You can find my readings, the different things I do there. Also, drop your sign one last time in the chat if you're still here, and hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, or the Facebook button if you're on TikTok, or subscribe or follow if you're on Facebook or Instagram. Whenever you're going to see this, protect your energy. Protect your energy, folks, and keep shining. Keep shining. And I will see you next week. I'll see you next week. Good night, my loves. Good night to TikTok. Good night to YouTube. Many blessings, many blessings. And someone said, "Hey, why is it dark in here?" You know, I don't know. I don't know why it's dark in here. I will say this, Sweet Honeymoon 88. I have been I'm new to doing the live manager on my computer. So I don't know what's going on exactly. But I did go live, and let's hope that this comes out. I'm also recording on YouTube, so if this doesn't turn out well, I'll make some clips from the YouTube video. Okay, okay. Anyway, much love to you guys. Many blessings. God bless anyone who stayed with me for the entire 2 hours. That's incredible. You're amazing. I don't know how long you were with me, but bless you all. Much love, okay? Much love. I'm going to put this music back on, and then I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready to go to bed. It is 2:54 in the morning. I've been at this for 5 hours. That's ridiculous. Much love to you guys. Blessings. Blessings. Hey, I'm out of here. Blessings. Much love to everybody on YouTube. Whenever you see this. All right. Hey. Mhm. It's been so much fun. Love to everybody.